Mondays. Hey family. Mood Monday. Today is April 6, 2020. New Norms. New Norms is the title of this Mood Monday because that's what we are all getting used to, all dealing with, and not one person in our world is exempt from adjusting to this new norm. I hope that you all are well wherever you are in the world, and I hope that you had a good weekend. Hope that your Monday is well. Change is something that's not always the easiest to get used to, but change is the one thing that's consistent. The only consistency is change. And anytime that we have to change, it incorporates evolving. Hey Jessica, hope you're well. So in this case, I put up a post the other day on Facebook. Thank you all to everyone who really enjoys the quotes that I put up. Oh, by the way, I'm working on 4 books. I'm writing 4 books right now. I keep forgetting I haven't mentioned it in a while. I'm writing 4 books. These 4 books are around my quotes, my shenanigans or my daily humor, my ponderings. I've got a social media etiquette book that I'm writing, and all of these are on Medium. So if you go to medium.com/AaronHillTV, or you just go to medium.com and search for Aaron Hill TV, then you'll see these works. And I'm looking to publish them as audiobooks as well as digital books very, very soon. So we're all getting used to new norms. I have a lot of thoughts about change. I wrote a song that I let a friend hear the other day. It's a song that I'm really, really proud of, and it's called Things Will Change. In fact, I need to post that right after this. It's a song I wrote back in about 2013, Things Will Change, and it was based on the mantra, if you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at will change. Definitely look out for that, like in a few minutes after I finish this broadcast. I'm going to post it on my timeline. But getting used to change is not easy, but it's the one thing that's consistent. I put up a Facebook post that said, Corona is taking our creativity to new levels. It's taking our creativity to new levels. We're having to get creative in order to be able to continue to establish a norm for life. That's getting creative as far as our jobs, the way that we move about our daily life, our self-care, our health and fitness, our relating to our friends and family, and so forth and so on. And I have deep empathy for every person on the face of this earth right now, because not one of us is exempt from this, except for maybe those tribes that are deep in the Amazons and in the jungles. Like, it might be really cool to be them right now, because chances are they are quite fine in the midst of this. But I really have deep empathy. This is impacting everyone from various levels, and I'm not here to do a news report, because you all hear about that every day. And I'm quite sure that many people listening to this watch the news more than I do, because I don't watch the news at all, except for just to check in here or there, because you all know that our current reality is 50% reality, 50% real, 50% hype, because during these times, a lot of industries, especially in the media, take advantage of times like this because of the fact that people are vulnerable and people are looking for answers or afraid, blah, 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 willing to listen to more bullshit. So, anywho, hey everybody, say hello so I can make sure you all are hearing me well, please. Jessica, Charlene, thank you for hanging out. So with that, I just say that to say that I have empathy for everyone out here. And it's one of the things that I mentioned to someone about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago before it got to this level. The person was complaining about losing gigs and jobs, but they were not just complaining, saying they were sad about it, but they were complaining about the person that canceled these things. And I was saying to them, yo, that person is being affected by this as well. So right now, that person is thinking the same thing as far as trying to cope. So have some empathy, have some patience. That's what we all need during these times. So new norms. The one thing that I really am appreciating about these times, or I look at it like it's just one of those things that just comes with the territory, and I just accept it for what it is that it's making us get creative and do things that we should have been doing in many ways, whether it's looking out for each other, being more mindful, washing our goddamn hands before we eat and before we go in the fridge. You know, if you all grew up in a household like I did, you remember that when you were young. Let me tell you how serious it was. You know how they say mothers have eyes in the back of their heads? So let's say back of the heads, let's say eyes on the walls around the rest of the house and on the doors, and just eyes just floats in the air invisibly. Because my mother could tell, even if she was on the third floor of a house, if I was getting ready to go into a refrigerator without washing my hands. As soon as I reached for that hand, it was like, hey, did you wash your hands, boy? And of course I'm like, yeah, while my hand is like hurrying up and reaching over to the sink. Like, I'll say yes, but I'll wait until the faucet is on and the water is almost about to hit my hand. Yes, I wash my hands. Because I damn sure didn't wash my hands, but I was doing it then. But, you know, now these kind of things, you know, after this, people will be being way more mindful, because we'll realize how many times we were able to get away with, you know, less mindfulness or, you know, these kind of things. And we made out okay. Yeah, I do wonder this, though. Do you all think that everybody that used to shake hands, do you think that everybody's going to go back to that norm? That's something I've been pondering on. You know, I think a lot about psychology. That's another thing I'm going to talk about in a few seconds, in fact, because this is not going to be the Corona update. I know there's enough of that going around. I stay out of it. So, but my point is, you know, I think about things from a psychology standpoint, and that's why I'm saying this. There'll be way more mindfulness. I think there'll be way less people that shake hands, more people that do fist bumps, elbow bumps, and those kind of things with the same kind of love and affection, just with a new understanding. That's going to be interesting, you know, but that's definitely going to be the case, because people are going to be aware of the more common colds and the common viruses that they won't want to transmit. You know, so it's an interesting thing with that, and with food and that kind of thing, and looking at certain surfaces and washing, you know, cleanliness around. It's just taking us to another level. The other thing that's interesting is many people are going virtual with their jobs and these kind of things to have to adjust. And I put up a quote, "What doesn't break you makes you stronger." And I have empathy for a lot of people that are really being broken during this time. But those, hey Frank, hey Miss Myrtle, hey Brandon, thank y'all for hanging out. Happy Monday. When I think about hey Frank, man, I'm on the other side, Frank. Help me out, bro. Yoga, man, is taking over, bro. I need your resource again, man. Your back alley, you know, muscle head, how to work out resource, man. I need the bro science. That's our inside thing there. Me and my buddy Frank used to hang out at the gym, clowning. We would get workouts in, but we'd be clowning a damn fool. It'd be so fun. Anyway. Yeah, so, you know, people are taking their operations virtual. I am even, as I like to consider myself a creative content strategist, helping a lot of people with how to do that with their concepts. You know, how to switch over to virtual, or how to do more in that realm. And so the one thing we can say about that is when things go back to, I won't even say back to, because you never go back to where you came from. It's always a new norm. So when things go to the new norm, then many people will have built virtual and online businesses that they did not have before. That will assist the businesses that they had physical Frank says, more chest bumps, bro. Rules for Corona. I still hang there. Doing this, doing that. Hey, man, just let me know if you're breaking all the rules, bro. Because if you're breaking the rules, I need to find out what you're doing so I can figure out how to do that too. No, I was kidding. Natalie Crawford, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for sharing the vid, Nat. So, many people are going to have online businesses and things that they never had before, virtual programs that go along with their physical and all that kind of stuff. Good night, Natalie. Thank you so much for hanging out. And so it's bringing out a lot of things in us. It's bringing out a lot of things. And I think a lot about psychology. And I often would say, when I think about the atrocities of history, you would never wish anything on a human being, whether it's whether it's dealing with like the Inquisitions or the Crusades or slavery or these kind of things, you never wish that on anybody. But the one thing that cannot be denied is that it's those kind of things that births the Martin Luther Kings and the Malcolm X's. It's those kind of things that birth the next leaders or the newest innovations in technology or the newest push forward by humanity. It's just what it is. It's called evolution. And in order to thrive, you must adapt and you must change. You must become stronger, and you must not fight against what's happening, but learn how to shift in accordance to it so it makes us stronger. What doesn't break us makes us. So I just really send my thoughts out, and positive energy out to everybody that I'm connected to, and just everybody, everywhere as we deal with different things. Next up, psychology. So I'm in a psychology class at Yale University. Yale has an open course program that every one of us can get into. And I mean, it is great education for a range of subjects. I was first introduced to it by a buddy of mine because of the religious studies program. Because at the time, I was really researching a lot of things, especially as it dealt with like Christianity. And this was a really, really big resource for helping me to really, really understand the things that I was feeling and some of the information that I was coming across that didn't quite line up with what I was brought up with in my childhood. And so with that, I was like, wow, because I got a whole college education for free, watching videos, lectures, with people who paid tens of thousands of dollars, and I was able to get this information for free. Please check out Open Yale courses. Google it. And also I'm excited because I've been trying to figure out for a while. You all know me. One of my mottos is what I know, you know. So I was trying to figure out like, how could I, I'm always sharing as much as I can, but I'm like, I want to share more. Like I want to help people even more. And so I study, like I'm a professional student. Like I'm always studying something. I'm always enrolling in some course and learning some new thing. I just love and I'm addicted to education and learning and like being able to grow. So with that, I'm saying that to say that, with this Yale open course thing and with some of the other things that I do regularly, I was just like, I was getting to the point where I literally didn't even want to do my next like course, watch my next video, or do my next like study in whatever course I was in because I didn't have enough time to then sit down, turn right back around the information to you all and share and say, here's what I learned, because there's only been so much hours in a day. So I finally figured out, and now what I'm doing is documenting my notes by doing very short videos. So now I'm going to be sharing everything that I learned from everything that I ever studied. And so right now I'm studying psychology and I'm in an intro to psych course. And so the first video, my intro to psych video goes up tonight. And I'm excited about that. Look for that on my timeline. I'm going to be sharing that in a few. And I realized like maybe about 6 to 8 months ago that psychology, my fascination with psychology is the reason why I'm into everything that I'm into. Whether it's science, engineering, I was really good in math. I'm into, marketing and business, studying spirituality and religion and secular humanism and all these things, beliefs and why people believe what they believe and, everything. I mean, I did audio engineering. I was studying mechanical engineering because that's what I was going to do before I realized that, I wanted to go in the direction of music. and that I had like, you know, a gift and there was some room there. I mean, I just study. If you ought to look at my YouTube playlist, like, it's crazy. And I've always been that way. So now I'll be sharing all of that, and the first video goes up tonight. So look out for Intro to Psych tonight. And y'all see that smile on my face, like I am really I'm happy as if I won the lottery. Cause literally sharing information to other people that help them, for me, is literally winning the damn lottery. Hey, Stephen Johnson, Paulette, Frank says yoga like the pants. Bruh, that is funny. Bro, we got to do something, man. I'm doing this new thing on IG, man, where a lot of people that I'm trying to get to do content, I'm doing IG live videos with them and just vibing with them like we're on a phone call. Holla at me, bro. We got to do a phone call on IG live so we can cut up and bring this genius humor that we've been talking about for years to people. But yeah, so that's Psych. You know, that's what's going on with that, and I'll be sharing a lot with that. So look out for that tonight. Other than that, had my first quarantine concert the other day at the UB Blake Center, right? Keeping my social distance and all that kind of stuff while being able to do a gig online for people. When I tell y'all, that shit was hilarious behind the scenes. I got some behind the scene footage that y'all gonna cry off of with my buddy Kiera Johnson and the FACC. I won't let y'all in on that yet, but some good stuff. But I'm saying that to say that also every Friday I'm doing every Friday a live concert on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. The Serenade, I already started it. This is the second week, and every week is a new volume, which means that I'm literally releasing an album a week as an artist. Now, who y'all know that does that? An album a week. So the person that you know that does that is I, and not even in this particular season, but this is what I did from 2014 to 2015. For a whole year, I released an album a week straight, and it took my business income over 6 figures, and it was crazy. So I switched gears because my focus was in another place, and so now I'm doing the same thing. So every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm doing a piano serenade, and it's going to evolve from there. I'm going to have friends, you know, that I invite, even in the quarantine kind of vibe, you know, where people are streaming in live from home and performing along with me. And so join me this and every Friday for the Serenade, a live piano concert that is a live recording. And as soon as I'm done, the album is available the next morning. And so I'm going to take us through that season doing this. And yeah, it's been exciting so far. So definitely wanted to let you all know about that. How are you all doing? I don't like to do these Move Mondays without having the opportunity to be able to say, how are you? And to hear how things are going for you. So that's what I am curious about. How are you doing? How was your weekend? Frank says, I can bring my banjo. You have my number. No IG for me. Come on, man. Paulette, how are you doing today? Stephen, how are you doing? Hey, Frank. So Frank and I used to joke in the gym about just the foolish stuff and that we would see going on. We would come up with all kinds of crazy stuff. And Frank, did you write that book, bro? Frank used to say he wrote a book that was on like some greasy notebook paper, but it was like the keys to like all of working out, like all of bodybuilding. You said an album an hour. God damn. Man, if I could put out an album an hour, bro, I'm rich. And if you can help me do it, bro, you get at least half the income. Yeah, but so let me tell you all about one other thing until I hear more people tell me how you were doing. One other thing that I am looking to do as well, and I want you all thoughts on this. It's pretty much a go, but I just want to hear, you know, what you all feel, what you have to say about it. So this is something I'm also for other musicians and artists. This is an idea for everybody, for all of you all of us to do. So right now, while many of us, fortunately, my full income, like isn't based on gigs. In fact, not even 90% of my income is based on gigs. Only about maybe 5%. So that helped me out during this time because I have other streams of income. Not everybody does. So what I try to do is help other people to form streams of income that they might not thought of. So here's one for you. Here's one for all the musicians or artists. And you can even use this outside of music as well if you have something that has been going on a consistent basis. God damn it. What the fuck is wrong with people? I'm sorry. If y'all saw what I just saw. Damn. A dude. Okay. First of all, when you ride your bike, you ride on the side that the traffic, you ride with the traffic, not against the traffic. And then this dude was riding in the street with nothing on to be able to see him. No reflectors on the damn bike. And then he was like, he was more than a foot from the curb. So he's like 2 feet driving straight. Like, what the hell, bro? Okay. It's because I care about people, y'all. God damn it, I care about people. Just want us to make some better decisions. So anyway. So this is what I'm telling musicians, artists, and other people too who have had anything consistent that you've been doing where you have racked up video footage. You've racked up a lot of video footage over the years, over the time. What you do is you pick a day of the week, and if you have editing abilities, and if you don't, you can grab somebody on Fiverr to do it or grab a friend. You chop up the videos into the segments. So for like musicians and artists, you take a concert that you saved at some point and you chop it up into individual songs. And then what you do is if you have iOS, if you have an Apple device, then you take a program like Switcher, called Switcher. Look up Switcher in the App Store. And Switcher allows you to live stream from the app, but you can also add videos and pictures into your presentation. It's something that you all that have been following me for a while is something that you've seen me do for a while, because I used to do it all the time, especially for my Move Mondays. And it allows you to share some cool things, along with your live stream. So right now I could share a video, if I wanted to, and we would still be live. It would just be like I'm hosting a show where I'm just cutting to different clips and these kind of things. So my point in saying all of this is that my idea is for musicians and artists to take a program like Switcher. If you're on an Android or if you're on a PC, you can use OBS, Open Broadcast Software. Frank, you a fool, bro. I'm about to read your. Hey, Frank, you still are you still working? I mean, I know not right now, because I know if you are, it's probably the quarantine version. But are you still working as a professional jazz stripper? That's all I want to know, bro. Are you still working where you come out for bands and you add your services on top of the concert, stripping while the band is playing? Like, I just want to know, bro. Not for me, Oh my gosh. So if y'all was in on our conversations at the gym, y'all be tripping. We used to just come up with some dumb scenarios, like businesses that we could market to other people. And Frank came up with that foolishness. Being a jazz stripper, you a fool, bro. Anyway, so I'm sorry, y'all, because I'm not finishing this idea. I'm getting off track. So musicians and artists, you take Switcher, you take Open Broadcast System, or you take another app for Android if you look up a comparison for it, where you sit down once a week and you take all your clips from over the years and you basically do a show where you just are talking to people like this live stream, and you're just contextualizing the clips. There's a lot of clips that people either haven't seen of what you do, or even if you have released it, because of how social media works, chances are a lot of people didn't see it because of the algorithm and stuff like that. So it still has a lot of life in it, a lot of meat on the bone, as they say, if you're not vegan. And so you can sit down once a week, just talk to the people, say hey, and just say, so here's from August of 2017, like if I use myself, this is Fruition, and Fruition was at the UB Blake Center. Now I'll use Andy Music. So Fruition's at Andy Music. This is the Herbie Hancock Chick Career Tribute. And all we're going to do for the next hour is just listen to the tunes, and between each song, I'm just going to talk about it, contextualize it, answer your questions or whatever, see what you thought. Boom, and you just flip back and forth. So it's the same thing as if you were doing a gig, because people will be watching you live anyway or watching you after the fact. But it's even more interactive because you're contextualizing the songs in between the songs, and, they get a chance live to talk to you and that kind of thing. And so you could do that once a week, and then you can have a donation process where people enjoy the show and they enjoy, they could donate to your show and that kind of thing, to your efforts. And so it's something that I'm getting ready to start to do with all the content that I have from over the years. So yeah, I'll be starting to do that with the years of fruition content, fruition experience content. I got gigs galore. In fact, now that I mentioned it, I may start with the Herbie Hancock Chick Corea tribute that we did, because I didn't release that because of just, ongoing. And that's why I'm saying this for musicians and artists, because for a lot of us, we have a lot of video and a lot of stuff that we've captured or that we've created, a lot of music we've created. But because we're always on the hustle and bustle of the next thing and completing other tasks and keeping up to date and all those kind of things, a lot of things are in our archives. We got tons of stuff. So Frank says, I'm all naked riding. That's okay. So Frank says, you do a podcast also? I do, bro. And the proper way to spell podcast is POD without a space, CAST without a E. You can only mess with your friends like that, y'all. You can only mess with your true friends like that and correct them in front of everybody in the live stream. I love you, bro. Brandon Woody, what's up, brother? Thanks for hanging out. How you making out, bro? How are things going for you during this time, man? And if you get a chance, I just talked about an idea for musicians and artists. In fact, I just told Clarence this the other day, because I was telling him that it would be a good idea to do with that Feel Good, and that I would actually do it with him as well if it would help him to get into it. So take this video back, bro, when you get a chance after I'm done, and listen to that part, because it's definitely something that I think all of us can do to really adjust to the times, adjust to these times, and to be able to still provide people with entertainment, because we got a lot of entertainment besides just what we are now doing live. We got a lot of entertainment from over the years, and to be able to do a show like that, showing that and showing those clips and that kind of thing, and just having fun. So look out for Kiera Johnson and Purple Honey Music to be doing that. Look out for myself with Fruition Experience from over the years to be doing that. Possibly if my brother Clarence Ward III jumps on in, look out for that Feel Good, and I'll probably be on that one. So that's that. So Frank says 8 p.m. every Friday. I'll do push-ups and push-ups, some sit-ups while you tickle the ivory. So basically, and you know what, Frank? Here's the funny thing. Frank says, okay, English major. Oh my gosh, bro. I miss tripping with you, man. Golly, we used to have some fun times. We got to get together, bro. Like, when all this shit is over. Frank, so here's the funny thing. Now, Frank came up with the idea, said push-ups, workout while somebody else is playing music. The funny part, bro, and I swear to you, I am not lying to you when I say this. I laugh about everything. I joke about everything because that's hilarious, and everything we talk about is funny. But I swear to you, I would actually do that, and we could do it on IG Live. Literally. And this is what we're going to do. We're literally going to do an IG Live where I'm playing the piano, bro, and you work it out. And we just cutting up, bro. I'll call you, we do it on IG Live. You just got to download IG, though, bro. You got to get on IG. But let's do that, bro. I'm so serious. And I'm going to invite people to come for that. I'm so serious. Because it's going to work, man, because it's funny and it's unique. So holla at me, bro. Yeah, so, and this is what the times are about. Like, this is my deal, right? And, this is where I'll conclude, on these last couple thoughts. I have so much empathy right now for everyone, like I was saying earlier. And one of the things that I've been really saying a lot to a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I just talk to regularly, is that we need all hands on deck right now. And what I mean by that is that each and every one of us, like every person watching this live stream, every person that's watching this afterwards on YouTube or wherever else, we need everybody to be a part of this therapeutic process. So we need people to be talking, to help each other out, to offer entertainment, be funny, education, inspiration in any format, day in and day out. And the one big reason why is because we're all figuring this out together. So right now, the scientists are no more ahead than we are. Like, we're all figuring out what this means and how this impacts the psychology of a species all at one time. So we really need all hands on deck because we're figuring out how to move through this. And for many of us, it could be very tough at times because it's a big, big, big shift. So any form of coping and therapy that you have, even if you don't feel like it's significant, I promise you, Frank, bro, your humor is gold right now, So even just starting to, cut up, bro, online, like it's gold. Everything that we have, So I just really encourage everybody to think about things from that perspective and to start making content, to go live, to have fun. And to try to be as productive as possible, but like this is the times that we're in. So I leave with this, I think about the fire drill. I think back to elementary school, and I remember what the fire drill was then, and I thought about like, wow, this is at the time, of course, it's just like we get a chance to get out of class and it's kind of crazy, it's kind of wild, everybody's. But as I got older, and I started realizing like, oh, the fire drill, the uniqueness of the fire drill is that it teaches us like, you're not going to be but so calm because it's a fire, or, and you can't be but so calm, like, because you have to go into a different mode. So all it does is it channels that heightened awareness. It channels that fear. It channels the things that come out of that fear, the positive things like the heightened awareness, the fact that now all the blood is flowing to the organs that you need most to fight or flight, as opposed to the places you need least. You even, and this will be FYI/TMI/ this is what it is. Even if your ass got to poop, when a fire happens, your body shifts to where you don't actually have to use the bathroom because of the mode that it goes in. That's something I actually learned recently. So my point in saying that is that, when looking at the science of the fire drill, what we came up with was a way to just channel that energy so that we could save lives or rescue ourselves, but be able to do it in a way where that energy didn't just completely overflow to chaos, because it could easily be chaos from there. So it's a middle ground, it's a balance. And right now what happens is that, and I don't blame people, panic shopping. Somebody went off on a friend of mine in the store the other day, yelled at them, telling them to stay away from somebody else, keep their distance. And like, they just need to mind their damn business because the person that I was with, like, they were at a safe distance. And even still, it was the way they came off. But what we discussed was like, this is what happens during the time under a certain amount of stress that we haven't been under before. So what that means is that the science of the fire drill is that we're all figuring out how to maneuver in the midst of being panicky, being stressed, and that kind of thing. So that's why I invite every last person who doesn't think that they have something to offer to speak, to make people laugh, to help people with healthy distraction, to offer their opinions on things, right? Because we all need it. And I can't blame people for being a bit over the top because they're scared. We're scared, and it's understandable. Jessica says there is a lot of assumptions going on right now. And you're right, Jessica. And then when you have people playing off of that too, and when you have people that's fudging numbers and fudging statistics, and it just, it's a lot for us to deal with. Jessica says, yep, you do what you have to do. So right. Frank says, you need feet to flight and wings. Frank says, hands on deck, but not touching hands across America. Jessica says, we need to figure out how you can play something and I can sing. Now on my bucket list. We will figure that out, Jessica. ASAP. Frank says, so Jessica says there's a lot of assumption going on. Frank says, ass some. Look, you gotta love Jessica me, Frank Samuels, Frank me, Jessica. Jessica Frank is my good friend. Bro, you a fool, man. So that's what we are. That's what we are. So I'm just here to say hi. I'm here to offer a minute of distraction away from the 24-hour news cycle. I'm here to say that I love you. I'm here to say that I care. I'm here to say that I will be working diligently to provide on this end of the spectrum as much as possible that I can to help and to entertain and to educate and inspire, and to just do anything that I can to help. So yeah, happy Monday, people. Happy Monday. So join me this Friday, 8 p.m. and every Friday for the Serenade. This is a way to help us wind down. When I first put this together, it was just to help us to wind down after a Friday. When people have long days of work on Fridays or during the week, it was a way to wind down. And so now it's that plus, So join me every Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Serenade. I'm going to be doing the Fruition concerts. Let me know what you all think about that. The Fruition throwback times. I got to figure out a name for the show. But we're going to do that. Look out for this psychology video. I'm about to go to YouTube now to see if my computer finished uploading it. So you can see my first intro to psych video. Check out Open Yale courses so you can study everything you need or everything you'd like to for free. I think that might be about it. You know how you go through a list of things and then I know I'm forgetting something. Jessica says, we can be fools together in this, and that is okay. Jessica says, and it's too damn hot. Amen, and pass the collection plate. So Jessica, I love you for that. And I really appreciate you for that, because so what she's referring to is I have a podcast. If you all get a chance, look for it on YouTube or look up Aaron Hill Podcast and look for It's Too Damn Hot Outside. It's too damn hot. Y'all see my eye? It's too hot. It's too damn hot outside. And you'll see what I was talking about. And Jessica said that was one of her favorite ones. And I appreciate that too. Appreciate that. So, yeah, that's where I am, y'all. I want to spend more time with you. I'm about to get my ass inside. And so, yeah, be safe, And this is the thing I leave you with. Be safe, right? Be safe. And at the same time, do your best to try to live as normal as possible so that you can keep your stress levels and that kind of thing down. So find that healthy balance, You might not be able to go everywhere where you need to go, but you can call more people at this point. You can check on more people. Musicians and artists, you might not be able to do as many gigs as you like, but you can finally connect with your people instead of just saying, hey, my new album is up, go buy it. Come to my gig. Like now you can sit down and talk to people about their lives and ask about their churn and their churn, ask about their family and just be there with them. Share some throwback moments and do a live show. Get creative, and so I just say that for everybody. Do what you can, be safe, and let's move through this together. It's not about it's really about how you move through. That's really what it's about, how you move through. So let's move through as gracefully as possible. And that's about it. I love you all. Stay up. And I will see you again. Oh, last and final thing. Every day, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I'm moving my new self-care journey to. So join me every morning, 10 a.m. And then Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday night, join me at 9 p.m. live, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, for In the Shed with Aaron Hill, a practice show not only for musicians and artists, but professional shower singers, which means every last person out there. And then join me on Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Serenade. And then I'm going to figure out what my Mood Mondays time is going to be, because I'm not going to do it this late from now on, because I need at least a couple of nights a week where I'm not doing shows. So I'm going to push it earlier in the day. So maybe y'all can help me find. I might try to find like a midday kind of lunchtime vibe. And even though I know everybody can't tune in, but I think it'll work out for myself. So, Frank, you couldn't have said a better word to end this whole live stream on, and that is balance. So I leave y'all with the words of Frank Samuels: balance. Jessica says, I have 3 damn fans in my bedroom right now. I love y'all. Peace. Balance.